For years, the scandal stayed hidden, ignored. And then on British television, suddenly a TV drama series based on this scandal bobbed up. It's called Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. And all hell broke loose.
The computer system Post Office spent an arm and a leg on is faulty.
No one else has ever reported any problems with Horizon. No one.
You're responsible for the loss.
I haven't got that money, and I don't know where it's gone.
These deficits were most likely caused by you. That is the Post Office case.
All our hopes, all our savings down the pan.
That was a lie, actually.
Think of our robo-debt, except much, much, much worse. Britain's Post Office got a new accounting system. It was flawed. It made it seem like postmasters and other staff were stealing money. More than 900 people were charged and around 230 of them sent to jail. That Mr. Bates is a real-life figure, tried for years to warn about this, didn't get anywhere. All of those people, those 230 that went to jail, innocent. Joining me is writer, broadcaster and author Esther Krakue. Esther, this is just the most incredible story, but perhaps the most scandalous part of it was that it took a TV series to finally turn this into a national scandal, and suddenly the papers are full of it and people are resigning.
Well, yes, it's incredibly ironic. It took a TV series to highlight the greatest miscarriage of justice in British history. I mean, this scandal went on from 1999 to 2015. And in that time period, the Post Office kept denying that there was anything wrong with the Horizon software that was provided to them by Fujitsu, who've since won hundreds of millions of pounds in public service contracts as well. But I think the biggest scandal here is the fact that there are still hundreds of people that have been falsely convicted that are still waiting to be exonerated. I mean, the Post Office settled this case for just under £60 million in 2019. And as of now, 2024, there are still hundreds of people that are waiting to be compensated, to be exonerated. Actually, many people can't be compensated because they've yet to be exonerated. And it is just ridiculous. There's so many high-ranking public servants that must account for this, because in 2013, the Post Office released a statement admitting that there were flaws with the Horizon software, and yet they still chose to fight it in court for 6 more years. I mean, the fact that it's taken a TV series for the public to become aware of this is ridiculous. There's so many people that need to resign, Sir Ed Davey being one of them, who is very quick to call for everyone else's resignation, but suddenly doesn't think that he should resign over literally the biggest miscarriage of justice in British history.
230 people falsely accused and sent to jail. It's just staggering. Oh my God!
I mean, over 900 people were found guilty of this, and 4 people committed suicide. It really just devastated so many people's lives.
Yeah, but didn't the Post Office think how incredible it is that we're hiring so many crooks?
Well, the thing is, one of the arguments is that it was kind of confirming a bias within the institution as well. There were many people within the Post Office that thought that they were being, the Post Office was being cheated of money anyway. So when these discrepancies started to come up, it just confirmed a lot of people's suspicions. So they weren't really willing to even hear the argument that the software might be faulty.
Now, Esther, I wonder whether we've reached peak woke where everyone starts to say, come on, wake up now, because the Biden administration in the US has just agreed to fund a program to stop boys getting pregnant. It says, well, this is money for a teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys, because, data suggests that transgender boys who are female at birth may be less likely to use condoms when having sex with people who have penises. Note that they don't call them boys, these people with penises, they're just people with penises, coincidence. And they say these transgender boys are at least as likely as cisgender girls to be pregnant. What do you make of all this?
I mean, it's ludicrous, of course, but it's one of those things that you've come to expect from the Biden administration, to spend public money on effectively validating the delusions of people. I find it very strange that they have to reiterate that transgender boys for some reason may feel less inclined to use condoms. I mean, really, if you have a transgender son who's also pregnant, your issues are far greater than their preferences for using a condom.
Well, I don't know where this is going, but how come this is not laughed out of court? They actually have this, and with that language too. I mean, oh dear God, Esther, do you think this is the year when we wind back the woke culture? Give me some hope here.
I mean, we can only hope, because the thing is, the Biden administration has gone full steam ahead with effectively validating these sorts of delusions and actually weaponizing this sort of language. Everyone knows what they're talking about when they're referring to transgender boys getting pregnant. It's female teenage pregnancy, right? Because they're the only people that can get pregnant. But because the Biden administration cannot relent and has to pretend like we don't know what is going on, they then have to chuck federal dollars at this sort of madness to make it look like it has any sort of legitimacy.
But that's how it works, because then you create an industry, of course. You get people reliant on the dollars to keep the whole thing going, and on and on and on it goes. I mean, this is exactly the problem. You're creating an industry. As soon as government gets involved, money gets involved, people have an incentive to keep the whole fraud going. But Esther, I just hope that you haven't got us banned from YouTube by using words like girls and boys, but we'll have to go through this, maybe edit it before we put it online. I don't know. Thank you so much for your time.